Welcome, Middlers, to the Medium in the Middle podcast. My name is Stephanie, and I take you on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual exploration. I am a Reiki master teacher, a spiritual and business mentor, and of course, a psychic medium. And I am here to share my story and help you tap into your extraordinary abilities. Join me every Wednesday as we dive into the realms of intuition, energy healing, and all things mystical. Whether you're a seasoned spiritual seeker or just dipping your toes into the magical waters, this podcast is your go-to source for inspiration, guidance, and a whole lot of lessons and laughter along the way. Let's get started. Hello, Middlers. Welcome to episode 247. I hope you know that whenever I am recording, I am jamming to my intro. I know you guys probably skip it, but I still jam to it. Welcome to the last podcast of 2024. Wow, it seems crazy to say that. The podcast will be going on a only 2-week break. Usually it's a 3-week break. So there will be no episode for the next 2 weeks over the holidays, and then I will be back January 8th with a new episode then. So there will be a 2-week break over the holidays, and then we will be back in the new year, 2025. I can't believe it. I usually treat the last episode of the year like a diary entry, and I think that's what today is going to be, but I do have a few important lessons that I've also learned over the last year that I want to sprinkle in that I think are very important to share, especially in the spiritual space. So we're going to reflect and learn and talk about a few lessons. But first, let's start off with a card pull. I went on Instagram for the last time this year. Yes, I'm that type of person. So I went on Instagram Live to pull the cards with you guys. And I said that because it was the last card pull of the year that I wanted to pick the deck. Usually I have everyone vote and we do a little race and it's cute. So instead I said, okay guys, I'm picking the deck. Like, write down what deck you think I'm going to pick. And everyone was saying the Kyle Gray deck. And then I was like, hello, does anyone listen to the podcast? Do you even know me? Of course I'm going with the Colette Baron Reid Enchanted Map deck. Like, what? It's my favorite deck. So without further ado, here are the 2 cards I pulled from the Colette Baron Reid Enchanted Map deck. And they're very fitting for end of the year. The first card I pulled was card 12, Slow and Steady. Slow and steady wins the race. Remember the old cliche, slow and steady wins the race? This is a time for easy movement, unhurried steps, and a steady heart. Trust that taking life at a more leisurely pace will give you greater access to your dreams. Slowing down allows more contact with the juicier elements of your life. Savor them. I like it. And then 2 cards this week. So the second card was card 17, Ghostlands. You can learn from the past and imagine a beautiful future, but you must live in the here and now. Whenever you set your sights too far ahead, you run the risk of losing your footing, for rarely do the present and future match up exactly on the enchanted map that is your life story. The future has no substance right now. It is a place that has no grounding as of yet. You can't live there, yet you can take measured steps towards a goal or dream. These steps are important now. The same goes for nostalgia. You can look into the past wistfully and remember beautiful moments or revisit lessons learned. However, you can't live there, nor can you go back and change what was. Yesterday is gone forever. Live fully in the present. The now is the most important place to put your attention. Its magic reaches out in every direction, further than the heart and soul can see. When I was reading that on Instagram, I was like, this sounds like a Reiki training. Just for today. So those are the 2 cards, Ghostlands and Slow and Steady, which I think are so fitting for end of the year. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but I am feeling worn out. I am fading and I am fading fast. I always get to this point in the year, and there's this like part of entrepreneurship where you go so hard. Why do I always get emotional in this last podcast episodes? I show no emotion all year, and then the last episode of the year comes and I'm crying. So for me personally, being an entrepreneur is like go, 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 go. Like you are the engine. You are the person doing everything. You're the person fixing everything. You're the person in control of everything. You're the person who has to be on top of everything. And it's go, 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 go. Like you gotta go. So I feel like Q4 is always exciting because you see the end and you're like, yeah, like let's go out with a bang. Like let's go, 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 go all the way to the end. So you have October and November. October was my busiest month ever in the last 5 years. It was my biggest month. November almost was as big as October. So then you're riding off of that high. You're like, yeah, I just had my 2 biggest months ever. I haven't had a day off, but that doesn't matter. And then December hits. And for me, the energy just changes because I feel finished. I'm like, okay, I'm finished. I did it. I made it. Wow, look at all these accomplishments. How wonderful. But then instantly, I just am looking at 2025, being like, how do we do this again? I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I don't have energy right now to think about the new year and business planning and all of these things. So there's like this dread that comes over me. And it usually goes away by like mid-January. But I just think like, can I do this again? Can I go this hard again? I didn't think I could this year. And I did, which I don't know is a good thing or a bad thing. I haven't done my goals workshop yet, but I will be. Speaking of my goals workshop, it's the last thing I have this year that keeps me going until the very end. It's my 5th annual goals workshop. It has a nice fancy name, but I will still always refer to it as my goals workshop. But if you're looking for it online, it's called 2025 Vision, a year in review and goal setting workshop. So anyways, that workshop is happening on December 28th. I've been doing it for the last 5 years. This workshop has changed my life, so I love doing it, and I do it with you guys. So on December 28th, it's from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's 2.5 hours. And for the first half, we review 2024. What did you do month by month? And we look back on your year, and we really juice everything out of the year. So then when you're planning for 2025, what I was just talking about, like what worked and what didn't work, what did you like, what did you not like? Are you exhausted in December like me? I probably needed more time off in November. And it's funny because 2 years ago I did that. I like wrote in big bold letters on my calendar, take an extra day off in October and November. You will be tired. But it's just so good to reflect. So it's my favorite. I know I always say they're all my favorite, but my goals workshop is just something different. I literally don't feel like the year is complete until I do that workshop. It's so healing and reflective, and it gets me excited again because I'm like, oh yeah, look at all the things I did this year. Of course I'm tired. Look at everything that I accomplished. Of course I feel like, oh, how do I do this again? But then you get excited to do it again because you're like, okay, well, what can I tweak? What can I fix? What can I add? What can I take away? Yes, anyways, I could talk about this forever, but I won't. December 28th, make sure you save your spot. It does include the replay. It's only $44 Canadian. I just love to do it. Grab a drink, grab a cozy blanket, come hang out with me. In my new house. Surprise, Middlers. I bought a new house and I get the keys in 2 days. December 20th, I will have the new keys in my hand, which has also been adding to the chaos for the last few months. So if you are listening to this podcast, go to my Instagram because I'm doing a giveaway. And hint, hint, there's the answer. So if no one's guessed it yet, you can win. So I do have a 3-part series that I'm going to be kicking off the new year with about how I got this house, how it fell in my lap, how I got it, how I manifested 20K by Monday, how I manifested that 20K 3 more times, this has been unfolding the last 2 months, and there's just so much that I want to share. So it's happening. I'm excited. I am moving on up. I currently live in 400 and, a few square foot. We're going more than double. Archie is going to lose his mind when he sees how big the new place is. I'm still staying in Banff. And yeah, I'll save all those details for the new year. But if you see me on December 28th on Zoom, I won't be in my normal medium in the middle HQ. I will have a new head office. So my office in Banff is still staying where it is. My normal office, that's not going anywhere. Just my home is moving. Can't wait to share with you all the details in the new year. Okay, what other announcements do I have for you for the last episode? So we have the goals workshop on December 28th. As of right now, I still have 2 spots left in mentorship. So if you are looking for mentorship in the new year, we start January 7th or January 14th. I like to work with people in Reiki, mediumship, intuition, or business. Those are my wheelhouses where I know that I can really help you. So if you're looking for a mentor, if you want to start off the new year, we work together one-on-one. We meet bi-weekly for 12 weeks. So we'll be together until either the end of March or the start of April, depending what your schedule is. But I will leave that down below. It's called Mentees in the Middle. I run it 3 times a year. The next round is in January. And yeah, we start in a month. And then Reiki trainings. Reiki level 1 is January 11th and 12th. Reiki level 2 is the 25th and the 26th of January. Those are both almost sold out. So if they sell out in the next few weeks while the podcast is out, I will be opening the February ones as well. Just as a reminder, I host a level 1 and a level 2 every single month. So when the time is right, when the dates work out, when you feel called, that's when it's your time. Don't rush it. Don't worry if it doesn't work. I literally host one every month. I did 25 Reiki trainings this year. 12 level 1s, 11 level 2s. This was the first year actually I had to cancel a level 2 because I had no one sign up. It's never happened before. But we roll with it. And then I taught the advanced course. I taught a master's course. So much Reiki. I really do love Reiki. So we started this year with episode 200, which was very satisfying. We were ending the year with episode 247, which is less satisfying than episode 200. But I always like to go back and just read the episodes, just a few of them. We started off with how to detect spirit messages, interpreting signs, permission to chill and not be so hard on yourself, how to be in charge of your energy, your psychic and medium gifts, learning lessons, a few good mediumship stories, Valentine's Day message from Spirit. I haven't done a Q&A in a long time. I just saw a Q&A. That time Spirit was really specific, listening to your intuition, even on vacation when my sandals broke. When I was doing palm readings in Mexico, that was funny. Listening to your intuition, part 287. I will forever be doing episodes on how to listen to your intuition and boundaries. Asking the right question, does that count as a sign? Use your shit, don't say this. We talked about dreams this year. Okay, I'm going to review this on my own, but there are 47 new episodes, so cheers to that. Cheers to you guys for being here. At the end of the year, it's so reflective. I know everyone is like reviewing their year, but I don't even want to, So words are very important. If you've ever taken one of my Reiki trainings, I yell this at you pretty much, and I have you write it down in Sharpie on your forehead. And when I'm teaching about the throat chakra, I always say, don't say anything you don't want your brain to hear. I repeat, don't say anything that you don't want your brain to hear. So when I'm reflecting on this year, I'm trying not to say anything that I don't want my brain to hear. But another side of the coin is also like, I don't want to be like toxic positivity where sometimes things are shit and that's okay. And I don't want to say this was the worst year of my life, but it definitely started that way. Some very, very difficult things happened this year. And this brings me to the first lesson that I want to talk about. So I don't want to talk about the details. Everyone goes through stuff. Everyone is human. We're all going through different things. But something that I really learned this year, and especially like the toxic positivity and the spirituality piece of it, was, and I see this a lot in my work and I see this a lot in my clients. And when it happens to you, I'm like, okay, like, what's the lesson? What do I have to learn? What do I have to take away? Why did this happen to me? And that's such a dangerous way of thinking. Why did this happen to me? What did I have to learn that this had to happen? And I just don't believe that's how it works. I don't believe that bad things happen or unfortunate or sad or tragic or scary or any of the things. I don't think those things happen to teach us a lesson because we had to learn, because we had to grow. Oh, Steph had to learn this, so let's put her through this. I'm not even going to say I don't think. I know that that's not how it works. We are human experiencing life in a physical world. No amount of spiritual woo-woo can skip the human part of it. Like point blank, period. Sometimes there is no lesson. Sometimes there's nothing you had to learn. Sometimes there's no reason why you had to, going back to last week's episode, there's no reason why she had to lose a child. There's no lesson that she had to get out of that. There's no, greater, higher purpose of bad thing. No, we are human. Bad things happen. Like, that's it, period. And I also would like to take back my words. I don't want to say it was the worst year of my life. I want to say it was one of the hardest. And again, don't say things you don't want to hear. But I hate saying things like that because I feel like it blankets my life, like the worst or the hardest. Like, I don't know what the future holds. Like, so far, this has been hard. But life is hard and life is not fair and bad things happen and that's okay. We're human. I think I did learn a lot this year. I don't know why these things happened. There isn't some big purpose that I had to come to Jesus aha moment where the heavens opened and someone hit me on the head with a wand and said, "Did you get it yet?" Like, no. But lots of good things happened this year as well. And I think that's just being human, folks. So that's lesson number 1. There doesn't always have to be a reason. Things didn't happen to you for a reason to learn a lesson. There is no greater, you had to go through that shit. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I just believe we're human and living a human existence, and this is life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the happy, the sad. It's just life. So let's go through a few highlights of the year, because while there was a lot of hardship, there was a lot of highlights. And not all my highlights this year were business focused. And that was a really big goal of mine, is that I am so business focused and I get so much of my fulfillment from work that I realized I had to stop that. And like, all of my value that I put in myself cannot be based on my job. So this year I really wanted to like live more and say yes to more things and do more things in person with my friends and have space to say yes to things because I'm always working. So this year I started, this is a work thing, but I'm going to mix in work and non-work, but I started a monthly mediumship practice circle. They started in February, according to my calendar here, and I've been doing them every month since February, at least one, sometimes two. So that was amazing. I started doing Reiki and restorative classes, Reiki and restorative workshops here in Banff. So I think I ran 3 this year, which is so fun. I used to be a restorative teacher and my schedule got so busy I had to stop teaching yoga, but I was like, I still love teaching yoga. I still want to get into community. how can I put these two things together? Oh, I can host workshops. So I've been doing that. I went to Mexico for my best friend's bachelorette. That was so fun. That was such a fun vacation. Then it was her wedding, which was really amazing. There was 2 Banff wellness retreats. Mentors started, mentors ended. Then I went home for my cousin's baby shower. I went to Florida to do a Reiki Masters course. That was my first time traveling to do Reiki Masters. Medium in the Middle turned 4, which is crazy. And the podcast turned 5. I started doing flash card sale readings this year. Those have been so fun. Also, if you got that surprise one on my Instagram, good for you. I didn't even launch it. I just put it on stories. If you don't already follow me at Medium in the Middle, pay attention to my stories. I've been dropping things on there. I went to Revelstoke and Invermere. I did some BC trips this year. I went to my first Stampede, which was so fun. I had some friends visit. I did a golf tournament. I did lots of golfing actually this summer. I had another best friend visit. I'd had another Banff Wellness retreat. Yeah, the year was difficult for the first 6 months. And then it really started to turn around. I have a lot of stories to tell you in the new year about how I got the house and about a little love story as well. So I'm excited to share those stories with you on the podcast. Oh, and I got a new car. How did I forget that? I didn't write that down. I bought a new car, which led into the manifestation of the house, which leads into the second piece or lesson that I wanted to talk about. And I'm going to do longer episodes on this, but the gist of it was, you guys all know I bought a new car this year. And the reason why I bought a new car was I was saving money for a house. And then I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to afford a bigger house. And then I bought the car. And 3 weeks later, I was sent the listing to the house that I get the keys for in 3 days. And I was like, why am I seeing this listing now? Like I stopped looking and I bought the car and, there goes all the cash because I paid for the car cash. And I was saving all this cash to buy the house. And I just heard the universe say so clearly, you can have both. You can have both. And I was like, oh my God, this is a huge lesson on abundance and manifesting. It's not new car or new house. It's both. So while I was really dragged through the ringer this year, I was also shown amazing things like you can have both. And I was actually just teaching Reiki this past weekend and I was doing attunements. And sometimes when I'm doing attunements, I get random downloads because, we're open and we're opening people. And yeah, sometimes I get some really good things. Anyways, so I'm doing an attunement and then I just start smiling because the you can have both ended up having a double meaning. And I have to give you the whole story in the new year about the double meaning. But I was like, oh my God. They told me from the beginning, you can have both. And I just thought car and house. So, yeah, the universe works in mysterious ways. My manifesting skills have times 10 again. I didn't even know I could do this. It was funny. I'll give you one tidbit, and I'm going to repeat this in the new year, but it was funny. At one point, I was like, am I not manifesting good enough? Like, maybe I need to say it out loud. Maybe I need to write it down. Maybe I need to. I was like, I never have to do any of this stuff. I just get whatever I want. So then I like, after a week or so of not getting what I wanted, I was like, okay, I'll write it down. So I remember I came down and I have a manifesting book, and which I do my goals workshop in every year so that I can see it year over year. It's like really cool. And then it's nice to go back and you're like, what were my goals 5 years ago? Oh, they're all in this book. Anyways, so I opened up my little manifesting book and I wrote down like what I wanted in the book, and I'm going to write it down, the whole length of a page on every single line. So I wrote it down, and I stopped like 3 or 4 times. And I just kept thinking, like, I don't need to do this. And I was like, yes, I do. Like, this is how you manifest. And then, like, I stopped again. I was like, I don't have to do this. And I did it. And, like, spoiler alert, what I wrote down didn't happen. And yeah, just so many things I learned this year about manifesting, which, again, I need to do. I think it's 3 episodes I have outlined for this because, guys, my goal of this podcast is always, if it took me 1.5 years for me to learn, I don't want it to take you 1.5 years to learn. I want it to take you a 20-minute medium in the middle podcast episode. So this manifesting thing has taken me 3 months now to realize. I don't want you to take 3 months. I want you to know you can have both now. I want you to realize all the things now. So yes, this year was so much duality. There was such high highs and the lowest lows. And the highs were great and the lows were character building. I don't even know. There was no greater purpose. There was no great lesson. There was lessons that I got out of it, but I just hate to view bad things that happen as like, why did that happen to me? It wasn't a punishment, and nothing ever is a punishment. Again, going back to last week's episode, that woman losing her daughter, that beautiful family losing that family member, that wasn't a punishment on them. They didn't do something to deserve that. But we think that way as humans. We're like, well, I must have done something. Well, it must have been karma. Well, I must have a contract somewhere. No, I fully do not believe any of that. I believe we are human, living a human experience on earth. Bad things happened. The end, period. I hope this episode doesn't feel like a downer as the last episode of 2024. I just always want to be real, and I don't want to sugarcoat things, and I don't want to have toxic positivity. I don't want to sprinkle all the spiritual lingo everywhere to like make everything okay, but at least I learned a lesson and whatever. I don't even know what other toxic positivity things I could say about this. I want to be real of like, yeah, like I had a hard year. And that's okay. And life is still good and great. And lots of great things happened too. And yes, there were some clouds, but that's life. Like, that's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of being human. And like, we all have those experiences. So I want to share these experiences so that if you had a hard year or if you had a great year, both are valid and both are human experiences. So just don't feel alone no matter where you are on that spectrum. It's okay if as the year comes to an end, you're like, ugh, goodbye 2024. I don't feel that way. I never feel like, oh, I need a new year. I do feel like I need rest. But I am finishing work and I am getting the keys and I am moving and I am painting and I am doing some renovations and I'm updating things. So I feel like I have to leave you with something profound for my last episode of 2024. And the only thing that I can think of is this. No matter how spiritual we are, no matter how woo-woo we are, no matter how much we work with our third eye and our crown and we want to open up and we want to connect and we want to see more signs and we want to connect to spirit and we want to be more clear and we want psychic and we want mediumship and we want our intuition to always be right and we are still human. Number one, always. You can't skip that step. Don't try to skip that step. Don't pretend to skip that step. Don't act like you're not human. If you've been to my courses, I explain it as like the balloon. You cannot be a balloon floating away. We have to come back down to earth. And this is the good part. The good part is having our meat suit, is having our physical bodies, is living a human experience, is the highs, is the lows, is the hard, is the easy, is the good, is the bad, is the trauma, is the healing, is the connection. Like, you cannot skip the human experience. That's what I want to finish 2024. The reminder that we are human. The spiritual stuff is the fun stuff, but it does not replace the human part. So if you ever feel stuck in spiritual la la land, come back down to earth, have a little grounding, pinch yourself, walk in the sand. Remember that we all still have to chew our food and put our pants on one leg at a time, no matter how woke we are. We're still human. No matter how woke we are, we're still human. Well, that's all I have to say for this year, folks. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a middler. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for taking my courses. Thank you for signing up for my workshops. Thank you for buying card readings. Thank you for learning Reiki for me. Thank you for joining my mentorship, my master classes. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for telling a friend. Thank you for leaving a Google review. Thank you for the emails that you've sent me. Thank you for the DMs. Thank you for the connections. Thank you for coming to see me in Banff. Thank you for supporting my business. Thank you for the constant support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I get to do what I love and be exhausted by December because of you. I love every second of it. I wouldn't want to be this tired for anything else. And just so much gratitude to you, person listening, for being in your ears 47 times or more. I know you bingers have listened to the whole podcast, some of you, 47 times this year. So thank you. My heart goes out to you. I appreciate you guys more than you can ever know. Okay, I have to stop crying on the podcast. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. I cannot wait to come back rested in the new year in my new house, sharing so many happy things that happened in this year as well. All the links you need are down below in the show notes. If you want Reiki in the new year, if you want to join my goals workshop, you do not want to miss it. I promise you. The replay is included if you can't make it live. If you want to do my mentorship, that link's all down below. But for the last time in 2024, I will see you in your ears in 2025 in the new year, middlers. I can't wait. Bye, everybody. Bye.